Have you ever played Dark Souls and thought, hey, this game would be better if it was a little brighter, pixelated, side-scrolling, a little less challenging, and a little more colorful? Nah, you probably just thought, when is it over? All of it. But if somehow you actually thought that, then you're in luck. Dead Cells is a game very similar to Dark Souls or Bloodborne, as you can get wiped out really quickly and need to watch out for enemy attacks by using audio and visual cues. It's a very simple and beautiful game, it really is. The pixel work is simply perfect, just small enough to get every detail in there. The story is interesting, and the enemies and characters are different too. So, with that out of the way, let's jump right in. The story in Dead Cells is very interesting, but it's also buried under the fact that there are like 3 lines of dialogue in the whole game. I mean, the lead designer and market manager both said that the story is a mess. I found this from an article and it's well put. A terrible malaise is unleashed on the kingdom, killing citizens and driving them mad, and the alchemist blamed for the plague is locked far away in a castle. There, the alchemist discovers what seems to be a cure for the malaise, using cells as the catalyst. The king, meanwhile, is frantically locking up and killing suspected infected people. Suspected infected people. Wow. Losing his grip on reality and humanity, the Hand of the King and the Giant turn on the king and the alchemist, who is also the collector, and steal cells for themselves, becoming extra powerful. The king is granted the ability to leave his body, but he loses his memories in the process, and he becomes the protagonist, the Headless, a headless, unkillable fighter. Oh, there's a timekeeper watching over the entire thing, messing with the fabric of reality. So when it comes to the story and plot, yeah, it's strange. The lead designer even said that he wasn't going to worry about story and lore as it, quote, got in the way, and they were just focusing on how to make the respawn and restart the game over as simple as possible. And the story does just that. So yeah, it might be a bit of a jumbled mess, but it's effective and unique. My only problem with this story is that it's never explained. Like, I literally just figured out that the king was actually the beheaded or the main character because of the article I just read. Like, that's how unexplained it is. The combat is one of the biggest similarities to the Soulsborne games and Dead Cells. In Dark Souls, you gotta be watching the enemy for everything under the sun. You have to be watching when he's doing that, when he's doing this, when this lights up, when he turns like this. All of it, as pretty much all the characters have several moves. In Dead Cells, when it comes to the more casual and more common mobs, they are similar, only with less moves. It's really easy to tell the difference from when a zombie is going to do his lunge attack or his big swing thing. And there are all kinds of cues to indicate when they're doing the attack. Now when it comes to the bosses, they are a little more detailed. Everything's the same, they just have more attacks. So between the Hand of the King and a zombie, the zombie will have like 2 or 3 attacks that can easily be picked up, while the Hand of the King will have several completely different attacks and 2 different phases. So while the zombies may be easy to take out because you fight them in like every level, the Hand of the King will be a different story because you only fight him once you've gone through the whole game. The upgrade system is easy to use, effective, and it ties into the lore a bit. Using cells you pick up from defeating enemies, you can invest in different weaponry. Upgrades, skills, different weapons. It's very simple and easy to use. Not only can you unlock different weaponry, but you can also go to the forge, which only appears like twice, and you can unlock something where all the items you find will be of plus quality, or even plus quality, or colorless, I believe the most valuable. And in case you didn't know, in between every level you go to this place where all your friends are, and they help you out with the upgrades. Then once you're finished and you need to move on, you can just go to the next level. Here's a pro tip: if you're trying to get the best weapons unlocked and have the best chance of beating the game, go through the whole game and only unlock the good weapons. Because when you start up a round again, it gives you at the beginning a couple weapons you unlocked, and if you want to go the farthest, then only unlock the good stuff or you'll be starting each round off with crap. For a game as beautiful as this, it's not as popular as it should be. The combat is nice and smooth, no problems there. Upgrades is perfectly fine, and the maps are beautiful, allowing you to choose your own way to go to the Hand of the King. The story is where things go south. It's a fine story. It does get a little strange with like the whole "you're actually the king" thing and how you like how did that, but besides that, it's a fine story. It's just never explained in the article. Like, I promise, reading that article segment to you is literally the first time ever hearing that you were the actual king. Like, I have many hours on this game. There is a very little amount of dialogue in the game, so I understand. And I also get that the developer wanted to keep it simple and focus more on the respawn aspect of it. Like, I get it. But don't come up with this crazy and cool story and then just never talk about it or mention it. There's also a really frustrating part of the game that I need to talk about. What counts as beating it? The game is supposed to be beaten 5 times. 5 times before you actually unlock the end boss fight. What do you think about this? I'm gonna give you a second to think. Okay, what kind of game design even is this? Beating a game should be fun and leave you with something, not drag on for hours and hours, then leave you a scarred and destroyed mess beyond recognition. You have to beat the game 5 times. Each time it gets at least 2 times harder. What the freak? But besides that, the game is great. For one playthrough. So, what are your thoughts? Dead Cells is on the Game Pass at the time of me speaking. It's a beautiful, colorful game that adds a twist to the more Soulsborne and more timing-based games. I hope you have a great day, and remember, life is short. Play great games.